What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another War Within video. Hope you're all doing very well. We're on the PTR with the Holy Paladin. I just want to do a quick video on a talent that I think for some reason has flown under my radar. I was not really aware of how powerful this thing was, and it's on Herald of the Sun, which is part of the reason why I haven't really noticed it that much. But I think, you know, most people run Lightsmith, right? Most Holy Paladins are running Lightsmith. I think when I was picking Herald of the Sun, I always picked Lingering Radiance because to me, it seemed pretty self-explanatory, right? You put Dawn Lights on people, it leaves a greater judgment on them, which helps to absorb more damage, or it'll leave an Eternal Flame, which adds more healing. I mean, that's a very, very powerful effect. However, this talent, Blessing of Anchi, is, I think, way more powerful and potentially like game-changing in a similar way to how Hammer and Anvil is completely game-changing for Lightsmith, right? Even though Lightsmith, of course, got nerfed heading into Season 2, it's Hammer and Anvil got nerfed a little bit by, I think, 20%. It's really not that bad. I think you're probably going to keep playing Lightsmith. I don't want to, like, say that this one talent's going to swing you all the way over in the other direction. It might swing me just to try and test this stuff to see how strong this actually is, because Lightsmith is still going to be very, very strong. Even with the nerf to Blessed Assurance, you can just switch over to Divine Guidance and it does a lot of healing and a lot of damage. I would not worry about that at all. And Hammer and Anvil is still very, very, very strong. But, yo, I really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe on the video. I gotta get some coffee. Bye. For Herald of the Sun, this Blessing of Anchi thing is insane, and it's because I don't think I wasn't reading it correctly the first time I saw it. So your damage and healing over time effects have a chance to increase healing or damage of your next Holy Shock by 200%. Now, first of all, it's your damage, any damage that you do, not just damage over time. It's any damage you do and any healing over time that you do, because I've had a couple pulls here where I just throw a Judgment, which is not a damage over time ability, and it procs my Blessing of Anchi. So the last part about this, it says it increases its damage or healing of your next Holy Shock by 200%. Now, in Blizzard math, this means that it gets buffed by 3, like times 3, not times 2, it's times 3. If it was buffing it by 100%, it would be double, which would be times 2. But it's buffing it by 200%, which means it's tripling the damage or healing of your next Holy Shock, okay? This is, like, actually insane in what it does. I'm going to show you some... I'll show you some numbers from dungeons in a second, but let me just proc this thing and show you the numbers in terms of what it actually shows. So we're just going to do a bunch of damage and a bunch of healing. There, I got a proc. Oh, no, we didn't get a proc there. No, we didn't get a proc. That's okay. That's just our that is just our proc from our Divine Toll, which is fine. We will get a proc here though. But what I've been noticing proc wise is that it happens probably 3 or 4 times a minute. Like actually 3 or 4 times a minute, you know? Which of course every time I go to show it to you guys, it's not going to happen, but I promise you in my testing it's up. There we go. We got a proc. So Blessing of Anchi, look how much healing or damage this does. 724,000 holy damage or 1.5 million healing to an ally. You throw on a beacon and you do 1.5 million healing, it's going to be massive. Suddenly it's at the top of your meters, right? It actually did. It hit for, we had one hit for 3.3 million. We had one hit for 2.5 million. Holy Shock is now becoming a massive portion of your healing and your damage. And the other big reason for that, of course, is that we had buffs to Paladin in our Holy Shock. Let me go right here to get over this. Sorry, I'm stuttering because I'm trying to get the notes up here. LMNOP, Paladin's down here. So I talked about this in my previous video, but Holy Shock damage has now gone up by 100% and Holy Shock healing has gone up by 40%. So obviously this has really big implications for things like Divine Toll, doing a lot of damage and a lot of healing. But this Blessing of Anchi thing, you get a 200% stack on top of the now 40% buffed Holy Shock. It's now cranking a bunch of healing or a bunch of damage. It is insane how much this is going to start doing. Like, even damage-wise, it's doing a lot more than it used to. If we go to some of the dungeons I did, I did a Priory dungeon with Kalamazi yesterday, which was really fun. He was awesome to play with, and he did a video. He's got a whole video of the Priory dungeon. You can go check it out on his channel. But Here is my healing from this thing. Holy Shock is my top heal at the end of the dungeon. That is not normal, folks, right? That is not normal to have Holy Shock being up this high. But we had a Holy Shock hit for 5.2 million. We had a Holy Shock hit for 2.3 million. I mean, these numbers are huge because of the buffs that have come in, right? Holy Shock is healing for 40% more. But this Blessing of Anshi thing just procs all the time. And it's really, really exciting to see how much healing it can actually do. It's just, I think it's just really strong. We're seeing it's about 16% uptime, but it procced 73 times in the dungeon. 73 times. That's a lot. So it ends up creating these moments kind of like Hammer and Anvil for Lightsmith, where everybody's kind of dying and you throw your judgment and the Hammer and Anvil procs and everybody gets massively healed. You can create a similar situation with this where you put on your beacons, you throw this massive Holy Shock, it crits for 5 million, and then all that 5 million goes into your beacon healing and everybody gets topped off. Like, it creates these really fun moments. So I do think there's some potential here for this talent to have really flown under the radar and to potentially be really strong as well. I did a Rookery +6. We did it with Kalamazi again, actually. At the end of the Rookery, my Holy Shock was my second highest heal. Now that's with, I think we did it with light. No, I don't know why Holy Bulwark's up there. It doesn't make any sense at all. I'm not, this is bugged. Something's bugged here with the, that's fine. Well, we can look at another one here. I'll show you from the live server. So right now I went back into the live servers and I was like, hey, let's just try this in a regular dungeon on live and just see. This is the unbuffed Holy Shock, right? We have no extra 40% buff here. This is just with my live character, and we're still seeing, if you take this Blessing of Anshi thing, if you go Herald of the Sun, we had Holy Shock at my second highest heal and it had a 1.3 mil crit for normal 1.3 hit, and then a 3.3 crit, which is huge. Once again, you push that into your beacons and it ends up being a lot better. So this is what it's like on the live server with no buff. And then heading into the season 2, you can see we've done something like the Prior of the Ancient Flame, and Holy Shock is my top heal. So hitting for things like 5.2 million, 2.3 million, it's hitting a lot harder now. It's doing damage as well. The damage is still not quite there because it just depends on the dungeon. You're not always using it for damage. Even though it's doing 100% more damage than it was before, it's not performing that well quite yet. That's just probably on me. I think I need to get used to pressing Holy Shock and Divine Toll more offensively, more often, as I get more comfortable with these keys, because we're just relearning the dungeons. As we get more comfortable, we're going to be doing a lot more damage with it. But the healing is what I'm most impressed with, and I would love to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. I think that this talent is potentially as game-changing as the Hammer and Anvil one. It's not as good, I don't think, as Hammer and Anvil. Is this going to make Herald of the Sun suddenly better than Lightsmith because we're getting the Holy Shock buffs coming in, and then you can take this Herald of Anshi and it does a Blessing of Anshi and it does a lot of damage? I mean, I don't think so, but I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments down below about it. I would love to play Herald of the Sun because I just love the theme of it. I think it's really fun and really cool. I love the beams going and healing everybody. It just has historically fallen behind Lightsmith. I'm just wondering if the buffs to Holy Shock plus this, plus all the talents you can take to buff Holy Shock, if that's going to be enough to get us over the edge and to potentially push us towards Herald of the Sun. We'd love to hear what you think about it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Drop a comment, drop a like on the video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next one.